Good. So good night, guys. It's after 9, so I have to say good night. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director of Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Good. Yesterday we had a very interesting program as usual. Today, or we were actually scheduled for 8:30, but they had a little one or two things to clear up. So as a result of that, hence our time. So I know a lot of you usually come onto this program. Some of you would come in between accordingly. Yesterday, we had a discussion where we spoke about hormonal disruption. And that is, of course, the trend that we're going to take tonight. So we're going to basically reiterate what we had discussed before. And we know as it relates to hormonal disruption, we're looking at hormonal disruption in women. Now, hormonal disruption continues to play a significant role in affecting women worldwide, especially in the Caribbean, Latin America. We have a lot of women who have serious issues associated with hormonal disruption. So things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, and so on. So this program is basically designed to target and to highlight and to help women who actually have that particular problem as it relates to hormonal disruption. So of course, feel free to ask your question, feel free to comment, feel free to really delve or help us into understanding what hormonal disruption is. Now, hormonal disruption is a broad, how to put it, boy, a broad tag line or a broad subset or set, and within that set you have different subsets, right? So remember maths, you have your sets and your subsets. So when you're looking at hormonal disruption have numerous or various aspects associated with it, or various subsets. So with hormonal disruption, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, you have fibroids, you have adenomyosis, you have weight gain associated with hormonal imbalance, because there are a number of women, for example, who may have issues associated with hormonal imbalance, but this particular hormonal imbalance is one that results in excessive weight. So you might find you exercising and, that tummy is not going down. That extra belly there is not going down. You might find you in a situation where you have issues associated with a lot of gas, a lot of bloating, especially around the time of your menstrual cycle. And that in itself, of course, is a clear indicator, or one of the indications of actually suffering from hormonal disruption. So that's something that, it seriously affects a number of women. When you're talking about things like endometriosis, for example, and endometriosis is a very, very painful situation. And it is a painful situation that happens as a result of hormonal imbalance. So you find in that particular situation of hormonal disruption or hormonal imbalance, it is as a result of, or as a consequence of hormonal imbalance, women end up with endometriosis, fibroids, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, infertility, painful menstrual cycle, and so many other complaints. So that's primarily what we're going to discuss today. Keep in mind, it is an open session. One of the questions that we had is a question that we actually had from yesterday's program, that actually coming down to the tail end of the program, this question was asked. And the question was, does hormonal imbalance cause painful or heavy periods? And the answer is yes. That question, as it relates to hormonal disruption or hormonal imbalance in women, as a consequence of having a hormonal imbalance, you can find that a woman, or a female, can have heavier menstrual cycle. She can have a heavier flow. You find women, their flow is so heavy that that consistent heavy flow can result in things like low blood count or being anemic. because, of course, women who lose that excessive amount of blood as a result of the hormonal imbalance or hormonal disruption, you find that they can have very heavy periods. So the answer to that question is, in fact, yes. Hormonal imbalance or hormonal disruption can cause a female's period to be heavier and can also cause serious problems during the cycle. So a lot of belly cramps, a lot of pain. Some women often believe that if it is you have a painful menstrual cycle, that is all well and good and normal and whatnot. And that's in fact not the case. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, that's not the case. It is a clear indicator that something is wrong. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Miss Maria Cooper, who has joined us on our Facebook. Keep in mind, this is a live program and it can be shared with members of your loved ones. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms, two of them. So we are live on Facebook. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook, and of course on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Limited. So you can follow us both, or view us both on those. Keep in mind those open clinic days that we offer at Batson and Associates. So Shogunas, that office is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. And of course, the telephone number is below there. That number, of course, 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Again, that is 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Keep in mind that information is actually available for all the telephone numbers, excuse me, or for all the offices rather. So that office in Red Edge Mall, that's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. Also, we have our office in Debe. Debe is the corner of Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe, as well as our Tobago office, which is at the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. So you can access that hormonal disruption package, that hormonal disruption treatment protocol at any one of those offices. Keep in mind, our Londonville office launching this week here, this week, God's willing. So that's going to be relief on my part. I mean, there are a number of things that we have to do in that clinic still, but the most important thing, we are actually getting it, you know, off the ground. And that office, of course, is going to deal with hormonal disruption. So you find a lot of women who may have issues associated with menopause, because menopause is also part of hormonal disruption. In fact, the reason why I decided to actually do this series on hormonal disruption is because of the women that we continually deal with as it relates to hormonal imbalance or hormonal disruption issues. So if you look at women who have, and what makes this so concerning is that a lot of women have hormonal disruption issues and don't know is that, you know. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Miss Hazel. Come in. She says, good night, everyone. Marlene Nabi, good night, Dr. Batson. Good night to you. Nicole Vanderpool, my dear, good night to you, as well as Miss Trisha Pascal. Good night to you as well. So, as it relates to menopause, you know, menopause is something a lot of people don't like to speak about because they figure it is an embarrassing situation. They figure it is an uncomfortable situation. But we're going to talk about it, but because the thing is, it doesn't make any sense you're out there and you're suffering and people could be able to help you and you're just suffering because you're either one, lack of knowledge, so you're ignorant, or you're just not opening your mouth because you figure you don't want to talk your business and you don't want anybody to know that's something wrong with you, and you stay there and suffer and die in what, misery? That don't make any sense. So as it relates to hormonal disruption, ladies, you have to understand this hormonal imbalance thing. Now, let's take it from this scenario. You're a female who would have gone through menopause at the age of 45. Or let's say you went through menopause at the age of 50, right? So in your mind, you're going through menopause, you're happy, you no longer have your menstrual cycle, you no longer have to buy pads, you no longer have to have the discomfort and the annoyance in some instances. I'm quoting what some women say. You know, because I know a lot of women look forward to not having that because, you know, it's to deal with the messiness and to deal with the surprise. And if you have to go to a function and you want to wear a particular type of dress or you want to wear a particular type of underwear, you can't wear the underwear with a sanitary napkin. Ladies, you all know what I'm talking about, right? So because of those situations, you find women often find it easier to not have a period. So they're glad. You glad you're going through menopause, your period stopped. Okay, good. So let's say that happened to you at the age of 45 or the age of 50, but you are now 60 years and all of a sudden out of the blue, you have high blood pressure. So it was good all the time. But 10 years after you start menopause or you went through menopause, you have high blood pressure. What you feel caused that? You feel it's high blood pressure you have, or you feel it's hormonal imbalance that caused you to have high blood pressure? What do you think? I believe it's the latter. And most of the time, you find a lot of women in that situation, the hormonal disruption is because of, or the high blood pressure rather, is because of the hormonal disruption. I have seen this over and over and over again. A lot of older women who are diagnosed with high blood pressure, who are diagnosed with thyroid problems. Ladies, you all realize thyroid all of a sudden is a big thing now. Everybody thyroid bothering them. You have thyroid nodules, you have thyroid this, your thyroid swollen, you have goiter, you have problems with hypothyroidism, so your thyroid either low, or you have problems with hyperthyroidism, the thyroid is very high. What do you think causing that? Hormonal disruption. So it is because of hormone, because remember, what does your thyroid gland do? Your thyroid gland is an endocrine organ. No? Your thyroid gland falls under the category of the endocrine system, which is your thyroid, parathyroid, your pituitary, adrenal, and your other glands. So it means that the situation that you experience in here is a situation where you have hormonal disruption associated with hormonal imbalance, thyroid problems. Okay, Miss Angelica Craig asked the question, what would you recommend to a child who has perspiration problems? When you say perspiration problems, Miss Craig, what does it mean? If the child has a high perspiration, and is it a male or a female? And give me an age. Okay, so just give me that piece of information and I'll tell you what to do as regards to that. So when you're talking about, as I said, hormonal disruption situation, it is an issue where you have individuals who have hormonal imbalance issues or hormonal imbalance challenges as a result of hormonal imbalance. Okay, so it says high at age 9 and it's a female. Okay, good question. First thing you need to do, how much water does she drink? Now, and this is not me trying to, you know, people think Dr. Batson trying to kill a dead dog with this water thing. But water is very important, especially for young females at that age, because you find adolescent has become very lower now. So some years, you find young ladies would start seeing their menstrual cycle at 11, 12, 13, in some cases 14. Now, young ladies seeing the menstrual cycle from the age of 7, 8, 9 in some cases. So if you're talking about a young lady who has a little high perspiration situation, what I would recommend is the Alkagen water together with the silver with the mineral formula and the Santulan. I'll tell you why. So the silver with the mineral formula is a very good thing for young people and even young children because it actually helps the immune system. So it's going to be very good for boosting that immune system, especially school is opening back. So it's going to help children dealing with colds and viruses and all that. Because you know a schoolyard is a very dirty place, right? Children have a tendency to play and touch one another and touch up their hand and touch the mouth and children. So as a result of that, you want to use the silver with the mineral formula in order to assist in that particular situation. Also, as I mentioned, the Alkagen water and the Santulan. Now, what I would say, as it relates to the Santulan, you have to make sure that we get the water intake increased for like maybe a week to 2 weeks and then give them the Santulan. But definitely, Ms. Craig, we could correct that situation for you. All right. If you have any additional questions, you could let me know. We have Miss Rosemary Bishop. She says, good night, Dr. Batson. I got a little problem connecting on my YouTube Was it my side or yours? But I am glad it came on. Okay, well, we're going to have to check it out. I mean, you know, when you're dealing with technology, you always have some sort of system issue or something like that. So I don't know if it was on our side, but I know the stream, because we need to start 8:30, and I had to actually call and have it changed because I was delayed in a meeting there, and I had to come up the road to organize this. So I didn't want to miss the program. I preferred to start the program a little later and still allow you guys to ask your question. You're very welcome, Ms. Craig. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we continue to support your health naturally. Ms. Craig says, but the silver mineral formula has any taste? It doesn't really have a taste. If you drink silver with mineral formula just like that, like raw in the bottle and not add water, you would get a slight kind of tangy taste. However, usually it does not really have a taste, because silver with mineral formula is actually colloidal silver, nano silver with minerals attached to it, right? So in a case like that, you find that product is a very good product. I swear by it, because personally it is something that I use all the time. I always have silver in my house, always, even with my dinner with my parents, members of family, children, whatnot. You always have it there because it is a very, very good thing to prevent and really boost the immune system. But what it does as well is it does a lot of work to the digestive system, and hence it is a very good product to help someone who has high perspiration or someone who has an issue with body odor and scent. When you're looking at young ladies, you find a lot of young ladies now, when they start seeing their menstrual cycle, and this is not something to be, I'm not being facetious, I'm not trying to be condescending, I'm definitely not trying to make a joke out of it or be rude. You find sometimes young ladies, they have very high scent coming from their private area, especially when they're going through that puberty situation. And the reason for this a lot of the times is because those 7 channels of elimination that we discuss, so things like your kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs need to be cleansed. Remember, young people generally, the parents on the life and the grandparents on the life who really pay attention to the children and the grandchildren. Children generally don't like to drink water. They generally don't. So what I'm not saying that you have to get a big stick and put it over them, but what you really need to do is really ensure that you monitor and you monitor them and allow them to understand the importance of drinking water. If you leave those children, I am telling you, they're going to drink soft drink, they're going to drink juice, they're going to drink everything else other than water. Every single, all the milky bacchanal that they have with a set of thing, a set of sugar, and they deal with that. But as it relates to water, when you're talking about water, these children don't want water to drink. And when you're dealing with young ladies, especially as it relates to the menstrual cycle and moving from that point in their life to basically becoming a woman, where they're now starting that menstrual cycle, mothers especially, I'm not saying the fathers as well, because we have fathers who actually play the roles of mothers, vice versa. So in a situation like that, you find it's vitally important for mothers and parents especially to really pay attention to the young ladies. Pay attention to your young boys as well. You know, a lot of young men, you know, the young men, and the thing is, school is not like a long time. You're going to have children in that school who are going to smell your child, and they're going to make a talk and make a laugh about it. I mean, social media now, next thing is because they post up something on social media. You know, children could be so cruel. And then because of access to social media now, the cruelty is a different level of cruelty. So, you know, school days is just that, school days. But what you need to do is ensure that your child, you know, they don't really have to face that because of how they're actually able to cleanse and detoxify their body, even the skin. You find a lot of children have a tendency where they would have situations with the breath, with the mouth. You might have situations with the perspiration, as you asked. They might have situation as it relates to the private young ladies. where when they get in that serious scent, that's nothing to be ashamed about. That's a part of life. But it also is an indication that that child needs a proper detox. And that is where things like the alkagen water, the silver with mineral formula, those type of things come in. So it's very important to at least have a consultation, at least, you know, call the office and we could give you the information. The silver with the mineral formula, you could always call the office and get the information on that. And you could also get the information on the alkagen water, which is this water here. And we don't put this water here just because we feel to sell you a particular water. But the water really has a purpose, especially when you're dealing with cleansing and detoxifying the body. Very, very important. Yes, Miss Craig, you're welcome. So just call the office. You could always WhatsApp 314-9975, and someone is going to contact you and let you know the price and that type of thing for that particular product. Good. The telephone number there again, the WhatsApp number is 314. That's 314-9975. Let me go to Miss Nicole Vanderpool question. She says, can you please address dizziness during perimenopause? Thanks. Excellent question. So during perimenopause, and I have reached a stage where I just separate menopause and I have menopause straight across the board. So perimenopause, when they're talking about before menopause, menopause, or right after menopause, is still a lot of problems. Simply because dizziness is one of the issues that women experience during perimenopause. Because why? You know why? Perimenopause can cause issues where women circulation, their circulation is being affected. Remember, we have two types of circulation, right? We have pulmonary circulation, which is circulation above your heart, and we also have systemic circulation, which is circulation below the heart. So what you find with women with dizziness during perimenopause is the circulation here, that microcirculation that is responsible for dealing with your eyes, for dealing with mental acuity. So all of a sudden you have problems with brain fog. You're getting problems to concentrate. What do you think that is? That is a lack of oxygen to the brain. That is why we have the circulation regeneration tea. Circulation regeneration tea is a tea that actually helps with circulation in general, but it also helps with circulation and high blood pressure. Now, we would always do a consultation for you because there's actually a next product that we carry, which is a capsule product, which is actually balanced circulation. Now, balanced circulation is actually a product. Is a capsule. Normally, it's 60 in the bottle, and we recommend you take 2 a day. So you normally take either one with breakfast and lunch, or you take one with breakfast and dinner, or lunch and dinner. Either way, depending on when we determine what your issue is, then we're actually able to make the necessary recommendations. Good. So that is actually going to help in a situation to improve blood circulation to the brain. How do you know? So one of the next questions is, how do you know if you have an issue with poor blood circulation? Easy. Poor blood circulation to your brain. Signs and symptoms: dizziness, lightheadedness, brain fog, blurred vision, issues with memory, especially short-term memory. So not where you went to school, when you get married, not that kind of thing. Short-term memory, where you put down your keys. You go in the fridge, you're starting to put things in the fridge that's supposed to go in the cupboard, and vice versa. Things in the cupboard that's supposed to go in the fridge. You're forgetting where you leave money. Ladies, especially. Anytime women forgetting where they put on money, something really wrong with y'all. Because that's something ladies don't forget. Women generally don't forget where they hide money. So when you see you starting to forget where you put away money, ladies, you need to come and check Batson and Associates. Get yourself a nerve restore. Get yourself a balanced circulation. Okay. Miss June Jatan, she says, blessed night, doc. Love in the house to the most handsome doctor. Thank you, my dear. Miss Janice Hampton says, hello, Dr. Batson and team. A pleasant good evening to you. Miss Nita Cooper, good night to you. Miss Regina Morris, she says, not just dizziness, but fatigue, anxiety. And as Dr. Batson on the topic, high sense. And I have that dizziness and I'm afraid to walk in the streets. Yeah. So ladies, let me tell you all something. A lot of y'all suffering for nothing, you know. Let me tell you something. Even if it is you can't come and pay to have a consultation or to do the package with the live and the dry blood, and look out, guys, because we actually have some specials coming with that entire package with your blood, your scan, that whole executive consultation, which I usually don't call price, but that is normally $1,000. But we actually going to have that product or that at a 50% discount very soon, especially in terms of referral and clients who would refer. And once you come and you do the service, you know, you actually get a coupon which you can give to anyone, and they actually get that 50% off that service. So that's something you guys can look forward to and actually take advantage of. We're going to be having that especially at our opening at our Londonville office for the end of this week here. So you can always stay tuned and actually take advantage of that situation. So don't sit down home in all your house and be suffering vaginal dryness. You ain't talking to your husband. You ain't feel to lie down next to your husband. You're upset. Hormonal disruption as it relates to menopause is a horrible, 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 horrible thing. How much ever horrible you could put there, if you could put 10 horrible in the same line, then it's 10 horrible. It is one of the worst experiences that women have. And a lot of people do not talk about this. You know why I started to speak about this so much and on such a large scale? Because when these women came to our offices, and people faint in a way, you have anxiety, you can't go no way, they have to give you Zoloft, they have to give you amitriptyline, you can't sleep. Listen to me, you're going mad, you know. So plenty of women sit down in the house going mad for nothing. How would you feel if your mother, your sister, I wouldn't like that to happen to my mother. I definitely don't want that to happen to my mother. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. So ladies, all I am saying to you is mind your business. And of course, yes, Ms. Vanderpool, these services and packages are also available at the St. James branch. This is going to be available. It's actually a special that we're going to do. I jumped the gun, or in this case, jumped the broom. So my colleagues are not aware of this. I just made this decision on this live here because of so many women, because we're actually going to put it for a particular, that opening at the Londonville, but we're also going to make some changes because this hormonal disruption thing that women going through, y'all are sitting down and suffering for nothing. You know it is when you can't sleep when the night come. You know it. You ever get a good dose of insomnia? I personally never had that, thank God. Because I would have been a madman. I might have make a little jail or some kind of thing. Because I can't not sleep and function and then have to deal with mad people. You could imagine you driving in Trinidad with these crazy drivers and you didn't sleep good. 3 days, you're looking to run over somebody when they get a bad drive or something. But I digress. But on a serious note, ladies, you have to take care of yourself. You think when you reach a certain age and all your hair falling out, and people telling you stripping is but you have alopecia. You are no alopecia. You have hormonal disruption. Is post-menopause issues you're going through. All your hair falling out. You're going by the hairdresser and doing what is always going to do? This keratin treatment and steam and all this kind of madness always be doing. I mean, yes, because all you need to look nice and we want the hair looking good. But when your hair falling out, that have nothing to do with your hair. That is hormonal disruption, hormonal imbalance. Okay? Miss Regina Murray says, Doc, what is the 3 stages of menopause and which one comes first? Miss Murray, here we're going on with that, eh? As you talk about, because you talk about fatigue, you talk about anxiety, you talk about dizziness, you talk about high sense. Women especially, that vaginal dryness can cause you to get a scent there in your life that you never smelled before. You want to know what's going on if that is you, right? So to say the 3 stages, I wouldn't go with that because you see the thing is, it is not now especially, it's not to say you can say when you go through perimenopause or post-menopause or menopause that you're going to get this, you're going to get anxiety, you're going to get insomnia, you're going to get fatigue, you're going to get weakness in your legs, you're going to get poor circulation, you're going to get a high blood pressure. We can't tick all of that for you because everybody is different and some people might experience some of those symptomology, but some people get all. I've had persons who came to us who had every last symptomology. They had nervousness, they had anxiety, they had sleeping problems, they had gastrointestinal problems. So all of a sudden, you have a set of gas and bloating. You're like a balloon. Especially coming to the time when you used to get your period. Hormonal disruption. So we have packages available for that. Excuse me. We have packages available for that. So it's just a matter of calling the office and making the appointment and at least come and get a consultation. And we're going to do some specials with that blood and that scan and that live blood analysis as regards to that, because we want to know from the perspective of the live and the dry blood, what type of inflammation you're dealing with, what type of hormonal disruption you're dealing with. If it requires additional testing, we might have to send you to do a CBC, which is a complete blood count. We might have to send you to do a ESR, which is an erythrocyte sedimentation ratio test. We might have to send you to do a C-reactive protein, but I don't ever send people to do tests that I don't need to get information on, or we do not need to get information on. And so do the consultants, which are available at any one of the offices. Okay, guys? Ms. Vanderpool says, thank you so much. You have addressed all of my concerns. Yeah. So make an appointment. We're going to have that special for you guys. I'm going to let them know in the morning, please God. And all the ladies who have that situation and need to get those things dealt with, give us a call. That hormonal imbalance thing is not a nice thing to deal with. You are going to end up in the madhouse, because you know what they're going to give you? When you start to get that nervousness and anxiety, is a Zoloft you're going to get. Or you're going to get a Revitril, a little piece of tablet. So. And all doctors know that those things are habit forming. So a lot of the times they do not put you on it unless they figure they reach a point where it's sheer madness and they have no other choice but to do that for you. Okay? So mind your business. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay? Let me see. Miss Marie Bishop says, Dr. Batson, for 2 years, I was having ringing in my ear. Now it's like a singing. Could you tell me what could be the cause? I am in postmenopause. Well, yeah, postmenopause. This thing, there's something known as vertigo. Not vertigo. Vertigo is the skin conditions. Vertigo is the dizziness, that ringing in your ear. You feel like if it is, you're hearing something there and nothing is there. That is part of hormonal disruption as a result of post-menopause. Ms. Marva Fortune says, after menopause, I still have the symptoms, like if I have a period around the same time of the month. Yeah? And that is where Nerve Restore comes in. That is where Women's Formula. You see this product here? Women's Formula. This is a product that we have at Batson and Associates. This is one of the best. I mean, we have a lot of good products. Just today, I was talking to Miss Roma in Davie. I was asking her, Jill, which product we have that is the best? And I can't answer. We have a lot of good products. But Women's Formula is a product that we have been using for years. We're using that product over 13 years. And that product helps with things like polycystic ovaries, hormonal disruption, this menopause, that hot flashes. That's some woman, you in air condition, everybody comfortably in air condition, you sweating like you not run a marathon. Where you feel that is? Hormonal disruption is taking place there. Okay, Ms. Vanderpool, well, she asked, are these services and packages available in the St. James branch? Yes, they are. Miss Craig says, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You're so correct. I totally agree with you there. Miss Craig, she says, yes, it's time to take care of ourselves. Sunshine Ray says it have about 31 symptoms. What sorcery is this? Yeah. So Sunshine Ray went and searched on the internet and looked to see what is the symptoms associated with perimenopause. And that is a serious thing. Ladies, watch me. You're very welcome, Miss Fortune. Y'all listen to me. And Batson and Associates is all the better dealing with this, because plenty of people just go. Start the nonsense. Go and start to take the sleeping tablets, which they just give you. Go and start to take the anxiety medication, which they just give you. And then when you end up in a ball of confusion and they cannot help you again, then you come by Batson and Associates. So I accustomed getting all you went and do foolishness. So try all your best and see if you could come and deal with the nutritional aspect, the dietary aspect, and the holistic aspect of that whole thing. Because let me tell you something. The central nervous system can fix it. But the central nervous system requires a lot of attention. You do not want your nerves to go on you. That is 2 minutes from the madhouse. St. Anne's will pick you up and give you have you dose very nicely. And then you know yourself from now until the Almighty God ready for you. Right? Some ladies mind all your business and come and organize yourself at Batson Associates. The numbers are below. Okay, so Miss Mary Elizabeth says, good evening, Dr. Batson, and all listening. I understand Cushing's syndrome disease can be caused by hormonal imbalance. Can it be cured or treatable with natural remedies? Yes, it is. And what you have to understand, Batson and Associates specialization is really clinical, medical, automolecular medicine, and integrative medicine. So that might sound like a lot of big words there, but all that simply means is that we use food, which are a combination of things. A lot of people don't know anything about nutrition and like to bump the gum and assume that everything natural is a herb. Quite unfortunately, I work with vitamins, I work with enzymes, I work with phytonutrients, phyto standing for plant nutrients. I work with probiotics, I work with various things like anthocyanins. And listen to me. So when you're dealing with disease and you're dealing with imbalance in the body, it is vitally essential. Notice the words I use. It is vitally essential that you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Very, very important. And the reason for that is because you have to deal with the root cause of the problem. Let me tell you something. If you have hormonal disruption and you do not take care of yourself, I am telling you, you're going to be a nervous wreck and you're going to end up semi-insane. I'm not asking you. I am telling you. Plenty women who end up in the madhouse, and this is not me again being facetious or condescending or trying to play the fool in any way or digress, is because of that hormonal disruption that they did not know how to take care of. Ladies, do not play with that. And let me tell you something. You could go through menopause at 50, and at 65, which is 15 years later, you like a mad person, you know, you're not sleeping, your blood pressure not reading good, your blood sugar not reading good, you're always hungry, you always have problems with dizziness, you have problem with lightheadedness, you're moody, you have vaginal dryness. We feel all of that. And then a lot of you always say, I passed that stage. No, you ain't passed that stage because you're not dead. The only time women do not have to worry about hormonal disruption is when you are no longer alive. Because a lot of you don't know how to take care of yourself. And because of that, you have a lot of imbalances. And these imbalances just get worse and worse and worse and worse. Imagine you lie down next to your husband and you're feeling for your husband to touch you. Not 1 day, not 2 days, not 1 week, not 1 month, not 1 year. What kind of 5 years? What kind of marriage you will have? You're definitely going to get leave. That these men and them ain't already all that understanding out here, you know. So you go in and cause problems there. And I'm not saying that there's a reason or an excuse to do it. But at the end of the day, if you could help yourself, help yourself. You stupid, you go play daughter, she will go and find somebody else. We talking serious thing here. At the end of the day, your husband gonna have needs. You not in the mood for your husband, but that doesn't make his need less. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna buy problems. You hear Pinky Pink say, so very true. She said, good night, Dr. Batson. I'm locked on. So ladies, mind your business. If it is you're going through menopause, postmenopause, premenopause, you're not feeling for your husband to touch you, you have vaginal dryness, you're not sleeping good, you have anxiety problem, you have panic attack, you just sit down and your heart just start to brace like a helicopter coming off a landing strip. Waiting wrong with you? Is hormonal disruption you have. And listen to me, there is an integrative approach to dealing with hormonal replacement therapy, right? I am not an advocate of hormone replacement therapy, and I say that plainly with no apologies to anybody. But there are things that you can use to take care of yourself, because if you leave it, your hormones are going to be in a mess, ladies, and you're going to end up mentally. You see this here? When you start to miss proper sleep, you're not the same person. You know what they said? It is worse driving sleepy than drunk. They say, listen to what I said. It is worse driving sleepy than drunk. So if you sleep deprived and you're going through this and you're sleeping good, what are you going to do? Drive car to pick up grandchildren? To kill who? You, your grandchildren, and yourself? And I'm not saying that again to be facetious or condescending, but I am simply stating the facts because I know of instances where people had those issues. Ladies, check yourself. And let me tell you something. Don't feel women alone go through hormonal disruption. Men go through it too, but I'm not dealing with the men right now. I'm dealing with the ladies. So, batting all your corner. We're dealing with these ladies. We're dealing with, I will deal with the men and them in due time. Because all those men who you see having problems with erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, all your hair falling off, you're not able to maintain your erection and you find your pre-ejaculation and all that thing. What do you think that is? That is hormonal disruption in men. Get it correct. All right. Let me see. Ms. Trisha Pascal says, I buy that product already and could not remember what I buy it for. Well, you see? You easy. But Trisha Pascal said, I bought that product already and could not remember what I bought it for. So we need to give you something for memory too, girl. Miss Elizabeth Martin says, what age menopause start from? Miss Marin, menopause could start from as early as 35 to as late as 65. It depends on how many eggs the female has. You know your cycle is dependent on the reserves of egg that you have, the reserves of eggs that you have as a woman. You all know that, right? So in other words, your neighbor menopause or going through menopause and you going through menopause is not guaranteed around the same time. Menopause is dependent on how many eggs a female has, which is why if women do things like chemotherapy and radiation, they can actually go through immediate menopause because those treatments actually interfere with the body's ability to do those things, and you could actually go through immediate menopause. Women, for example, who also do surgeries, so women can surgically cause menopause on themselves if they do a total hysterectomy where you surgically remove your uterus as well as your ovaries. You all want me to say that for you again? Or you all pick it up? So if you do a hysterectomy, especially a total hysterectomy, a hysterectomy is the surgical removal of your uterus. That is a partial hysterectomy. A total hysterectomy is where you surgically remove both the uterus and your ovaries. So in cases like that, you could actually go through hormonal disruption. And let me tell you something, that takes a while to correct because of how much damage is done to the nerves. But when I say a while, at 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 6 months max. In 6 months, you must see a significant improvement. But most of the time earlier than that. But I tell people, give us at least 3 months because you get new red blood cells every 120 days, which is every 4 months. So it's usually very good to give us some time because we're dealing with the central nervous system, we're dealing with your digestive system, we're dealing with your musculoskeletal system. Do you know that osteoporosis is also a sign of menopause? Especially bad osteoporosis. Good. Miss Trini Nikki says Tammy Bechu. Okay, I'm not too sure what that was about though. You could clarify for me, Trini Nikki. Or is it that you're saying that that is your name? Miss Regina Murray said, I think I have more symptoms than that. Believe it cross over 50. I believe so. They just put, I believe the symptoms could go into the hundreds. I'm telling you. Based on my experience and what I have seen. It is not an exact science, and that's what a lot of people have to understand. People automatically think when they're talking about hormonal disruption that it is automatically exact, that you're going to get this, you're going to get... Ladies, I tell you, the symptomology is numerous. Numerous. Hot flashes, you're feeling like you're going mad, you can't concentrate properly. I think the worst is the anxiety, and the anxiety, the depression, and the insomnia is the worst. It is the worst. And all they're suffering. What they're suffering for, Batson and Associates are thing for you. As we always tell earlier, we have thing for thing. And that's not because we're trying to sell you something, just sell you something for selling you something sake. The products work. Okay. Let me see. So where am I? Pinky Pink says, good night, Dr. Batson. I'm locked on, so I went through Pinky. Donlo says, good evening, Dr. Batson and listeners. Thank you for that. Ms. Giselle Singh says, good night, Dr. Batson. I'm waiting for my Santulan order. In the meantime, what are your thoughts on using soursop bitters? The soursop bitters is good too. Ms. Giselle Singh, you ordered Santulan from which office, if you don't mind me asking? Did you message us on the 314-9975? Or does that have to be, because I know we have some international clients that have some orders. So I don't know if you fall in that category. All right, my dear. Miss Elizabeth Marin says, what age menopause start from? Well, I handled that. Trini Nikki says, I'm tagging her to listen to this knowledge. Oh, okay. Okay, Trini Nikki. I got you. Sunshine Ray. Yeah, boy, menopause, this bring on a lot of stuff that you never had to deal with before. Sunshine Ray, you killing me, you know. Yeah, no, it's bad. It really, really, I talk about, I've dealt with women, when you pass your hand in your hair, all your hair coming out your head. You can imagine. No, I'm laughing, but that's not a joke. No. I respect women with a full head of hair. I find ladies, your hair and your beauty. Although my mother just tell me, she'd say, you're a madman. You could say what you want. That hair just make you hot. But I understand women who want to have a nice head of hair. So you can imagine you spend all your money and do your keratin treatment, buy all your thing and all your hair falling off. Now, I have a smile on my face and I'm not laughing at all. I'm laughing with all you. That's not a nice thing. That really, I will die if all my hair fall off my head. Honest to God. Really. No, it's bad. It really, 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 really bad. You can imagine your husband, all of these big people here, you can imagine your husband can't get a little jam himself. That's not right. That's not right. That's going to cause problems in your household. And it's not as if your husband being unrealistic or not understanding, but because of how you're feeling, you don't even want the man to lie down close to you. That cannot be right. That's your husband you're talking about. You know? The man ain't coming to trouble some other woman, you know. It's you he come into trouble. That's your husband. That is your role. So if you're not feeling too, okay, good, we can understand you're not feeling too. It's not your fault. But at the end of the day, you have to fix it, because if you don't fix it, you're going to meet some problems. Imagine if the roles was reversed. Imagine your husband had a problem with erectile dysfunction. You ready for your business, especially in this rainy season, all this rain falling, and it's because he telling you young John ain't working, he ain't rising to the occasion. You will be very frustrated and annoyed. So imagine in his position now, he ready for your little thing and you tell him, boy, I ain't in the mood for you, go wrong, you'll be pushing him. You're going to end up in some trouble, man. Definitely you're going to have some problems. So before we end up in that situation, let us check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Give Batson and Associates a call. Ladies, check out your woman's formula. Let's see how much I can push this up in the camera for you to see. Check out your Nerve Restore. This is a good product too for this hormonal disruption. There's the magnesium 90. There's a liquid magnesium. Really good product. Right? And of course, ladies, check out the promotion that we're having. So the ladies, that's going to be a hormonal disruption promotion. That promotion starts from tomorrow, please God. So call the office. If it is you tell them, they tell all you that all you didn't hear about that, because I doubt that they're up listening to the live. Not all of them. We're going to organize and you're going to come to Batson Associates, ladies, and sort out yourself. Because happy wife equals what? Happy life. You have a set of men on the fence, they suffer, and the man can get a little something. Now, you got to fix that. All right, Ms. Rosemary Bishop says, Dr. Batson, thanks for your info. You are so right. Dr. Batson, how soon I will be able to buy your product online? My brother Hayden Stewart brought some products for me while he was in Trinidad. Oh, you are Hayden Stewart's sister? Okay, right. He really told me that. Yeah, watch me, that was an excellent. You have a real cool brother there, boy. We had a real nice. He actually got to meet with me personally on the Wednesday, and we had some really good conversation, right? So, very soon, my dear. Very soon. I actually had a meeting about that today. That's why I was actually late for this live. I was doing some meetings as regards to that. Okay. Trisha Pascal said, that's me. Maureen Tull says, good night. Miss Craig says, the struggle is real, boy. Time to take care of ourselves. Yeah. Miss Regina Murray, Giselle Singh say, I'm the list of international orders. I've been communicating with the Shagwana's office. All right, Miss Singh, I will speak to them in the morning, please God, and I will let marketing get on to you. But I'm sure it's there, because I know they have a list of things and a list of clients that they're dealing with. Miss Rosemary Bishop said, Dr. Batson, true talk. Wendy Andrew, LOL, you're correct. Kathy Samaru, good night, Dr. Batson, very educational. Thank you, my dear. Miss Mary Elizabeth, she says, sunshine, exercise, drinking your water, and listening to Dr. Batson and Associates. Miss Rosemary Bishop says, yes. Rosemary Bishop says, okay. Yeah, but ladies, there's a serious thing. It's really serious. It's really serious. I mean, I always tell persons that there was a point in time that I dealt with a client who had hormonal disruption. And whenever I deal with people who have mental illness or issues as a result of hormonal disruption, I'm always very concerned. You know why? Simply because of how serious the issue could get and how much damage they can cause to themselves. Ladies, do not play with your mental health. And I'm not saying that because Batson Associates trying to make sales. I am telling you, I am doing this for the last 14 years. This year, next year, please going to make it 15 years since I've been dealing with this. And I have dealt with every possible or most possible diseases, combination kind of disease that you could think about. We are very good at what we do. Notice I'm not saying I'm saying we, Batson and Associates, as a collective organization. Because this thing with everybody want to see Dr. Batson alone and tell all you're going to get all yourself in problems. Because when you see it start to get really bad, Dr. Batson is ensuring that he takes care of himself. I have to take care of myself in order to take care of you. Ladies, so watch yourself, examine yourself. You find you have vaginal dryness, you find your mind, you find up here feeling like it's not yours again, you're getting problem with depression, anxiety, you're lying down to sleep on any night and you're watching a whole ceiling. You could go and work a security firm or something like that. You are having hormonal disruption, which is interfering with your central nervous system. And if you leave that to get bad enough, the madhouse is going to pick you up. And I am saying that with the greatest humility and the greatest care for you all, and not mama guiding you. I have seen it. You know what it is to contemplate taking your life? Women who go through this bad enough can commit suicide. These women have thoughts of killing themselves. You could imagine you're a good God-fearing woman. You're accustomed going to church, wherever the case may be. You is the Sunday school teacher and all kind of thing. And you actually lying down and contemplating to kill yourself? What sorcery is that? That had to be madness. That can't be anything else. But what you have to understand, that your body, if your body is not getting what your body needs at the point in time when it needs it, you cannot help yourself. Remember, I told you that. I'll say it again. If your body needs what it needs at the time that it needs it, and you do not know what your body needs, and most importantly, you don't even know where to get it, because this is not criticizing the medical doctors. A medical doctor can't help you with this, you know. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. The only thing they could give you is sleeping tablets, depression and anxiety medication. You really, and any good doctor don't want to put you on that. You know why? Because they know how dangerous it is. It is going to mess you up. It is going to mess you up. Those things are things like serotonin, uptake inhibitors and all kind of thing. Why are you taking that for? Now, when you can't sleep, you want to take something to sleep. You know what it is? When you get dependent on sleep medication, you are in a mess, you know. You know how hard it is to fix you? You're going to come to Batson Associates and tell me that my product too expensive because I have to now fix you. That's like going by the mechanic and you're kind of mess and you telling the mechanic that you don't have no money. That is not the mechanic, it's you. And I'm not saying that I don't care, you know. But what I'm saying to you, because of the damage that has been done to your central nervous system, you need to fix it. You need to fix it. Nothing in the world as it relates to your health is as important after gastrointestinal. The most important organ system in the body is the central nervous system. If you do not sleep properly, and let me tell you something, plenty of people sleep and feel they sleep good, you know. All they know nothing about good sleep yet. I tell all of that. I tell all of that. Mark my word. You don't know anything about good sleep. Let Batson and Associates deal with you. You see this nerve restore we have here? I tell you, this product is a deliberate. This product made first. This product was made for me, you know. I make this product for myself. Because of the workload I had and the amount of things that I have to do. Because I ain't going on after God. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. So I'm saying that, ladies, all of that to say, mind your business. Mind your business. Give us a call. We do not have a nice special. We call it the hormonal disruption special. When you're ready, call them and tell them you're coming for the hormonal disruption package. And the hormonal disruption package, you're going to get a discount on that live blood, that dry blood, that magnetic resonance analysis, and your foot detox. Because we need to know what's going on with all you. We need to see that blood. We need to know what is going on with your circulation. You know what people walking about there with poor circulation? Your blood catching his skin to go to places where you're supposed to play. That's why you're remembering. That's why you have a problem with blurred vision. That's why you have a problem with your toe, your pins and needles. You think that diabetics just lose the toe just so? You think it's just so the doctor is cut off your toe? No. You have poor circulation. And poor circulation is also a side effect. Well, not a side effect, but a consequence of hormonal disruption. Okay, guys? Miss Elizabeth Marin says, how you just feel when you have normal disruption? Or hormonal disruption, you want to say, darling? Oh, yes, I now see it. My apologies. That's Elizabeth Marin asked that question. How you feel? You just feel horrible. As I said, you just feel really, really, really bad. Good night, Dr. Batson, and all on the live. Is enzyme formula available? This is Miss Carol. Miss Carol, I believe we have enzyme formula. You know? I don't think all the offices have, but I think Miss Roma would have. I think Shogunas has as well. You know? You could always call us or message them on the 314-9975 number, and they'll be able to tell you. All right? Jane Angel says, good evening, Dr. Batson. Good evening, Dr. Batson. Could this apply to elderly folks as well? Yes, Jane. Jane, let me tell you something. These ladies feel that you have to be young and sprightly and in your must be 50s. Okay, let me ask you all a question. What age do you think a woman or a female should ease up? Let me put it like that. So let me ask you all a question. At what age, as a female, do you think ladies should start to ease up? You know, rest yourself, you just retire and take a back seat. What age? Tell me. Only answer that question for me while I answer questions in the meantime. Trisha Pascal says the blood of Jesus. Elizabeth Martin says, how you just be feeling when you have hormonal disruption? Yeah, Miss Marin, you have problems with tiredness, you have problems with weakness in your legs, you have problems with vaginal dryness, you have problems with anxiety. So you feel as if your heart racing off. You have problems with sleep, so insomnia. Sometimes you feel very tired. Sometimes you have problems with joint pain. Your back hurting you, your waist hurting you. You don't feel to talk to people. You don't feel to be around people. Let me tell you something. The worst one, the worst one it have is that spontaneous crying. You normal sit down talking to everybody. We having good conversation. We sit down in the living room watching TV, a movie going on, and you in the corner just crying just so like somebody do you something. That is when you know it's real bad. You're 2 steps from madness. Real bad. It's bad. You just crying just so. I talking bucket and drop. You getting on like somebody take one of your children or something and go with them. That's how you getting on. Right? Okay, so my ladies answer the question here. So Ms. Elizabeth Martin say 40. Miss Craig say 50. Regina Murray say 60. Sunshine Ray say 70. I like you. Elizabeth say, how long will you live? Miss Cathy Samaruso 60. Mama Fortune say 60. Ladies, yeah. I believe, quite frankly, this is my answer. So the question I ask you all is at what age you think ladies should start to, you know, kind of ease up and cool themselves and all kind of thing. This is what I say. I say till the day you're dead. That's what I say. You and your husband supposed to be going at it. You're all in your 90s. Don't let them want to know them old people what going on with them because they're here in bed squeaking and all kind of thing. That's how you're supposed to live. Because let me tell you something. That's a part of life, you know. That's a part of life. That's why it has so much stressed out people in this world, you know. Because they're not getting no kind of loving. So I say, ladies, you should park up when you're dead. When you're dead. You tell them about Wendy Andrew. Say 55. Barbara Chris say no age docket. Never stops. Yeah. You and your husband should be going at it. We're telling me about why you think them Chinese. Watch them Chinese and them. I remember some years when I went to China. that was what, 2016? One of the professors who taught me, she at that time, so 2014, good. So we know 2024, right? So that's what, 10 years. And she's still alive. And my professor at that time was 86. And this, if you see this woman, an 86-year-old Korean woman, and she is now 96. I was doing some stuff with her because I have something to do as regards to studies, and I was in discussion with her, and she looks just the way that she looked when I saw her 10 years ago, if not better. And that is because she takes care of herself. So ladies, you want to take care of yourself and take care of your husband, and that never stops. You need to be able, because you don't pass the stage to make children. We know that. But that don't mean that you can't live. Because once people virile and take care of themselves, and if it is you have a husband who taking care of himself, he going to want what he need to he want. So don't feel it a number there. No number with that. You do that till you're dead. In fact, you can die doing that. But that's a serious thing here. So ladies, take care of yourself, and most importantly, take care of your husband as well too. I will deal with the men and them, because you know we little hard and we don't listen. You know, them fellas and them like to dodge, especially when coming to prostate. They want nobody don't feel up nobody again with prostate. I don't know what's wrong with them. It has so much. You could do prostate ultrasound, you could do MRI, you could do CT scan, you could do blood analysis by Batson and Associates, you could do magnetic resonance analysis. So we checking out the men too. So don't feel we're not dealing with the men, but we have to deal with the ladies, because I figure all you need more help because of what I see going on with these ladies and them. So ladies, all of that, and watch me, have a product I'm bringing back. There's a product we used to use called Revitalizer. We sort of slow down on getting it, but we're going to start back getting it because I'm starting to get products specifically for the men and the ladies in that particular area. Because sometimes you just want something to give you a little, a little zhush. So when you get that little zhush, you're able to handle yourself properly. You can't have your husband calling you for thing and you in a corner and you're vexed, and vice versa. Men, you can't have your wife telling you, hey, I'm ready for something, and you telling she about your ED and your diabetes and you're in function, you're supposed to function. Big people here, always big people. Not no little children listening to this, right? So I'm keeping it clean because we could have some little children listening, yes, but all you understand what I'm saying. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right, Mr. Hayden Stewart killing himself. Here's the comments. You tell them, Doc. Miss Carol says, I agree with your answer. Yep. Let's see. Miss Elizabeth, Mary Elizabeth says, my maternal grandmother said, we do the same thing you young folks do, just a little slower. And that was when she was 80. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, with the thing. That's part of life. That's a de-stressor by itself, Get a good session there, you're good to go. You're going to take a bath and you could take over the world the next day. So y'all make sure and take care of yourself. So you have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson Sobre, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. So ladies, we are going to be running from tomorrow, please God. I am going to let my colleagues know it is now 10 minutes past. Well, it's now 11 minutes past 10. So they are going to be informed, some of them on the live here, so they will know. You call the office tomorrow and tell them you want that hormonal disruption package, which is going to include your live blood analysis, your dry blood analysis, your magnetic resonance analysis, and your foot detox. Right? So organize yourself, get that done, and ladies, come and take care of yourself. We will deal with your husband after we deal with you, because we want to line him up. Because when we get you in a gear, he had to line up to deal with you, right? So check yourself, as I say, before you wreck yourself. Those telephone numbers again and locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montreux, Chagonas. That telephone number is there, 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And of course, that WhatsApp number, 314-9975. Again, that is 314-9975. Check out the products the women's formula. Take a look at this here, women's formula. You all might be, you all seen it there. Notice what it supports. It helps with painful menstrual cycle, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It also helps with irregular menstrual cycle. All right, very good. Nerve Restore, one of my favorite products. I use this product all the time. I actually had it today, this morning, after I went to the gym, and it is something that I love this product. One of the things it does, it supports, reduces anxiety and stress, helps fight depression, improves sleep. One of the things I personally like it for is that the quality of sleep that you get. So you could take Nerve Restore and only sleep for 3 hours, and you feel as if you get the quality of an 8-hour sleep. No lie, no fib. Ask people who use that product. You're going to get some really good results. Also check out the Magnesium 90 product. There's a liquid magnesium. This is actually one of my favorites as well because it's liquid magnesium, which means it's very easy to be assimilated. You hear a lot of people talking about magnesium, this magnesium, that magnesium, the other. What a lot of people do not understand is not everybody is able to assimilate magnesium the same way, especially those hard capsules one. So you need to pay attention to that as well. Also check out our circulation regeneration tea. This product I really like. They actually have to do some work on the additional work for us with the labels. I actually have to let marketing know about that. But this circulation regeneration tea, very, very good tea as it relates to circulation. Things like varicose veins, spider veins, pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under the feet. Of course, don't forget your Alkagen water, very, very important. That premium alkaline water that helps with a number of things. It helps with circulation. It helps with your digestion. Those of you who may have problems with acid reflux, a lot more products, because I always tend to have a lot of products for digestion because I deal with a lot of persons with acid reflux and, of course, specializing in diabetes and dealing with a lot of diabetic patients. You always have to fix the digestive system. So that is something you could also check out as well, guys. Okay, so Ms. Rosemary Bishop says, thank you so very much for your great knowledge and info. Have a pleasant and safe week. Thank you very much. Same to you guys. Check out those locations again. And that hormonal disruption package is going to be available at all of the offices. So check out Debe. Debe is the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. We have St. James, which is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. We also have Tobago, which is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. We also have Chagonas, which is first floor Money Talks Building in Montrose, Chagonas. And we also have Londonville, which is going to be opening, God's willing, by the end of this week here. That is in the Londonville Main Road. I'm going to get the locations for that office for you guys because we're still in the process of doing some things and that kind of thing. Miss Carol says, can I take all the products at the same time? Yes, you can, my dear. What we normally do, we advise you how to take the products. So you might have to take one with your breakfast and your dinner. Then you might have to do your mixture in the morning. We would let you know and guide you accordingly. Miss Elizabeth Mary said, thank you all, everyone listening, Dr. Batson and Associates. Sharing is caring, and may God bless us all. Amen. I totally agree with that. So share the lives, send the lives to somebody, and let them know to take care of themselves. Please, you know, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. May God continue to bless you guys. Check out the products, check out the offices, and take good care of yourselves. God bless. Take care and have a good night.